Hey, everybody, welcome back to the show, Reason and Theology. Your host, Michael, on a Saturday. Hope everybody is having a great weekend so far. So, the drama continues. As I always say, we go from one crisis to another. Why is that? Well, it's because there are people out there with a vested interest in promoting more and more controversy and chaos and crises in the church. So, what are we dealing with now? Well, a whole bunch of people have been asking me, what do I think about the rumors? And yes, that's what they are, rumors about a new document that is going to restrict the Latin Mass even further. I'll just briefly weigh in on this since I am being inundated with requests to address it. I do think it's interesting, however, that we continue to go from one controversy to another. And like I said, I think we know why at this point. But let's go over it for those who genuinely are concerned. I want to show you something on my screen where this news is coming from. It is admittedly a rumor, and my general rule of thumb is to not put too much authority behind rumors. My concern here is that in many cases they turn out to be false. And in the cases where they will actually turn out to be true, in a lot of cases, there aren't sufficient grounds for believing that they are true until we actually have confirmation. So it's good to have a healthy skepticism whenever we come across this kind of stuff. So if there's any truth to this rumor, I think that we don't know that yet, and we should not believe that it is likely to be true, given the fact that we don't have evidence. Even if it is true, it's always safer to have a healthy skepticism here, especially when we're talking about stuff like this. Is there a new document that's going to come out restricting the Latin Mass? Here's where it comes from, the best that I can tell. Let me share my screen. This is from Inside the Vatican by Robert Moynihan. And he says in a post very recently, Wednesday, January 18th, he says this: I just received a fascinating letter, which I published below. I took my distance a bit yesterday from the rumors in Rome that Pope Francis may soon issue a new decree further restricting the celebration of the Old Mass. Then I received this letter. It begins, as we both know, there are no real secrets in Rome. Then essentially the letter writer tells me that the rumor does in fact contain a truth, that there is a draft Vatican document which would further restrict the celebration of the Old Mass. The letter is from a priest who confided in me. Listen to this. The letter that's being presented on the website by Dr. Robert inside the Vatican is from a priest who confided in me that an archbishop in the States has seen this letter. Now, think about this for a moment here. We're getting our news source from a journalist who heard from a priest who heard from an archbishop that he saw a letter that's being drafted, not even that's finalized, but that's being drafted. Did you catch that? How many points are we removed from the actual document at this point? Let's see. Journalist says a priest says an archbishop saw it. Forgive me if I exercise a healthy skepticism here. This is certainly a rumor. I'm not saying that there is no truth to it, but given that we are this far removed from the actual source, it's nothing more than a rumor. The archbishop, he continues, confirmed to a priest friend of mine who is a person of true integrity and would not casually spread rumor, that it does indeed contain what some have guessed at, a further suppression of the TLM. I replied to the letter writer, confirmed his identity, and know that the letter is not a prank, but a serious communication. I regard it as credible. If I did not, I would not publish it here. The news is secondhand, he says. Actually, no, it's not secondhand. Wouldn't this be third hand? Now, if this is, you know, authentic, there really here actually is a letter and the priest really did hear something from an archbishop, it's possible that there is something in the works. That's possible. But again, my recommendation is to exercise a healthy skepticism in such situations, because I have seen other situations where people will say equivalent things and then it turns out not to be true. But again, it also could be true. What if it is true, however? Let's just go with that scenario for a moment. Let's say that there is a document being drafted that is going to restrict the Missal of 62 even further. Well, what might I say about this? Well, I would say, you know what? We had an opportunity to show Pope Francis that he was wrong when he originally offered some restrictions in Traditionis Custodes of the 62 Missal. We had an opportunity to prove him wrong when he was under the impression that it would be good to restrict the 62 Missal because there's a lot of people who are using it and weaponizing this liturgy against the church and to promote dissent. We had an opportunity to show Pope Francis through sanctity and fidelity to the magisterium and the authority of the church. We had an opportunity to prove him wrong. Did we do that? It's an honest question. I know it's a question that most people don't want to ask, but I'm going to ask it. Did we do that? Or in fact, did we just continue to prove him right? Did we continue to slander the Pope, engage in wild-eyed speculation about him and his papacy, continue to push back against the authority, saying, no, we're going to have clandestine masses even if we have to. We're going to even engage in ordinations that are illicit so that we can continue these masses. And we're going to do this against the bishop in our local territory. We're going to do this against the Pope. Didn't we have an opportunity to prove him wrong? And yet I asked the question, did we prove him wrong? Or did we prove him right? That's a question we honestly need to ask. We need to be introspective here. Did we prove him right or did we prove him wrong? Just consider our behavior. I want to just briefly show something to you to illustrate this. I see Taylor Marshall as the quintessential poster boy for this movement that promotes the 62 Missal at all cost, even at the expense of submission and fidelity to the hierarchy. I want you to just take a brief look at the homepage here on YouTube and ask yourself, you know, if Pope Francis is going to consider the most vocal people in the church today who are pushing for the 62 Missal, if he's going to consider, should I relax these restrictions or should I enforce them even more? If he's going to look and see, well, you know, what are the people who are really promoting the 62 Missal these days? You know, what are they saying? Are they proving me wrong or are they proving me right? Well, let's take a look at, again, the poster boy for this movement. Petty bishop abuses priest for life. That doesn't sound promising. Is the Pope against Christ? That doesn't sound good. Pope plans a new world order. Surprise! Boy, imagine Pope Francis saying this. Why is Francis's Vatican so toxic and scandalous? Did Pope Benedict think Francis was the Antichrist? Pope Benedict says the time of the Antichrist is now. Will Francis have a change of heart after viewing Benedict's corpse? Vatican conservatives plan to remove Pope Francis I mean, you can just go through here, the videos, right here on just the home page. Look at this. Francis persecutes the good and promotes evildoers. This is not an isolated case, okay? It's not like Taylor Marshall is just some loner voice out there. No, he's the poster boy for many other people who are promoting such sentiments. Now, again, I ask the question, if Pope Francis is going to consider whether he should further restrict the Missal of 62, or if he should, relax a little bit and loosen up and relax the restrictions. Well, if he's going to consider the people who are promoting, those who are most vocal about the 62 Missal, if he goes and looks and sees, well, what is it that they're saying? They're proving him right. So I'm going to say something that, again, I know people don't want to hear, and I know I'm going to lose subscribers for it because I do every single time I say something like this. But you know what? So be it. I'm going to say something that people don't want to hear. If there is a document that is going to further restrict the Latin Mass, as it's called, or the Missal of 62, it's because we did it to ourselves. It's because we proved Pope Francis right. That's what this boils down to. We had an opportunity to prove him wrong, and we didn't do it. We failed. I'm not saying that everybody failed here. Obviously, there are some good people who promote the Missal of 62 who do not take this kind of public dissent against the hierarchy in the church, right? I mean, look, there are some good people there. But unfortunately, and I do think it's unfortunate, their voices are drowned out by a larger group that promotes the 62 Missal that is very much opposed to the hierarchy and is explicit that they will absolutely disobey the hierarchy on matters touching on what missal is going to be used, among other issues. So again, I know people don't want to hear it, but if this document is true, we did it to ourselves. We have no one else to blame except ourselves. People are going to want to blame Pope Francis. People are going to want to blame others. No, we need to blame ourselves. Now, again, I know some people have been trying to push back against some of this stuff, but it is what it is. Those who are the most vocal in the church, I think, have only proved Pope Francis right. So I don't know if it's true. If I had to guess, I would say it's a 50-50 chance of whether or not this document is authentic. But I've already been burned too many times by really putting stock into stuff like this. So I just kind of hold out until there's something a little bit more objective to confirm such rumors. But again, at the end of the day, if it's true, we had an opportunity to prove them wrong, and yet we proved them right. So we only have ourselves to blame. What can we do moving forward after that? Well, what we should have been doing, proving him wrong. That's what we should have been doing. Prove him wrong through a life of sanctity. Prove him wrong through obedience. Prove him wrong by showing that we have a healthy assent to the magisterium. Prove him wrong. Don't continue to prove him right. That's what we should do if there's another document further restricting it. And either he in the future or a future pope will then evaluate our behavior and then see whether it's necessary to move forward with even more restrictions or if it's time to perhaps relax them. So anyways, I hope this was helpful. Those are just my brief thoughts that I wanted to offer. Hit that like button and the subscribe button. Check me out, patreon.com/Reason and Theology if you want to support what I'm doing and get access to extra content. All right, see you later. God bless.
Is it possible that ancient aliens created other ancient aliens? Ancient alien theorists say yes. But then, is it also possible that ancient aliens created the ancient alien theorists? And are the ancient aliens and ancient alien theorists led by the Vatican, headed by the Pope? ancient alien theorists and certain unnamed Catholic YouTubers say yes.
Tired of Catholic shows that peddle conspiracy theories that sound like something out of an Ancient Aliens episode? Check out Reason and Theology for a more reasonable take.
If you're looking to buy or sell a home, office, or any kind of property anywhere in the world, you're going to want to call Real Estate for Life, and they're going to connect you with a Catholic agent. Now, that agent will donate a portion of their commission upon sale, and Real Estate for Life will donate 75% of that gift to a pro-life organization at no cost to you. Call Real Estate for Life at 1-877-LIFE-US1 or text them 248-431-1440. If you care about the pro-life cause, call them now.
Are you confused about how Catholic teaching authority works? With encyclicals, papal bulls, councils, and many other things, it's easy to get confused on what is authoritative and what is not. Fortunately, at MaximusInstitute.com, I have prepared a course explaining the magisterium from A to Z. Visit the website and check out the course Understanding the Magisterium for more information.
Oh wait, before you go, I would really appreciate it if you would consider supporting this channel. This is my primary means to provide for my family, and it also helps me to produce content like this video. If you would like to support me, become a patron by visiting patreon.com/Reason and Theology. You'll also get access to extra exclusive content when you become a patron. Lastly, hit that like button and the subscribe button, and be sure to leave a comment down below. God bless.